Okay, we're here with Gretchen Titchwillow. I've played this, I think, twice before. Maybe even three times, but I think just twice, at least on YouTube. 2 mana, 0/4. You pay 4, and you Growth Spiral, which is just draw a card and put a land in from your hand at the battlefield. Kind of a weird one, right? It's not necessarily a ramp deck, as I view it more as a blue-green control deck. However, it's nowhere near as good as... Just plugging this stupid thing in. As good as the Tamiyo that came out, and ever since Tamiyo came out, the 1 mana Tamiyo. This doesn't see play anymore, it seems, because Tamiyo A comes in immediately on turn 1, and if you don't kill it, and they untap with a second land, you're probably just never going to kill it, and then you lose. This is not that, right? It costs twice as much. It does draw cards just like Tamiyo, but for twice the mana cost. So it's literally like Tamiyo at home at this point. It's kind of unfortunate, but it plays a slower game, and I've played both of them. I think I prefer Gretchen just because of certain spells that this wants to play as opposed to Tamiyo, but Tamiyo is just a better version of this. So the first card I'm going to put in is Tamiyo, obviously. This is just way better. But they changed what this plays against, so you're going to bump into like the Ragavans and the Kingdoms and stuff. This, I don't believe, does that, right? And this absolutely does. Sometimes you'll have it on turn 1 and then just scam your opponent in the tier bracket, but, you know, not always. So, let's see what this deck looks like now with the new sets and stuff. Okay. There's a little bit too much blue in here for my comfort. I might come back and add more green creatures as we go. We'll see. But there are some new cards in this, you know, Commander Planar Genesis. There's Expropriate. I don't think I've played this deck with Wilderness Reclamation. I don't think I have. I probably should have when I did, but it probably just wasn't on my radar. No, alright, that's it. We're just playing Gretchen with big giant stuff. I feel like this is too many big things, but that's what I'm in the mood for, and you can't change my opinion of that, so... Alright, I forgot to say this earlier, but I don't have mana dorks, right? I know I said I kind of want more green creatures in this deck, so it's not like mono blue counter spell spam. But I didn't mean more green creatures in the form of mana dorks. There are no mana dorks, and that's because I don't really think you need mana dorks with Gretchen. It does help on turn, what is it, turn 3? You know, you play this turn 2, even if you don't use your mana dork, and then turn 3, you have this activation. But for the most part, you're probably never going to do that anyways, because you're going to leave up interaction, you know, starting turn 3 onwards and whatnot, and that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, so... Mana dorks are not here. If ever there was a green deck that didn't want them, this one is it. Yeah, we're just gonna send it. I don't think it's super crucial for it to, like, survive, because it's not doing anything for a while. Okay, so let's play you, and then see what happens on this turn here. Gruul Energy. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna brainstorm, I think. Yeah, my hand is actually kind of ugly, now that I'm looking at it. Let's get rid of you and probably you. Alright, my hand is significantly less ugly. I think I'm gonna cast Uro here. Don't see why I wouldn't cast Uro here. Alright, I got a lot of mana. I'm not going to respect a flash creature, am I? Well, I mean, the Provisioner's already done a bunch of stuff, so... Oh, come on, it was a flash creature. Come on. Alright, well, really wish I didn't swing now, but... Of course I did. There's actually quite a few reasons not to swing there. I probably really shouldn't have swung. It's not just a flash creature. The Wild Tree. The Wild Tree. Beginning your first main phase, add red, only to cast rooms and unlock doors. Create a spirit with number unlock doors. You can go right ahead, opponent. You knock yourself right out. Alright, we're gonna... Oh, right, I can just do this, huh? Does this make sense right now? I feel like it doesn't. I'm confident that it does not make sense. We're just gonna do this. And we're gonna pass. How do I get cards in my graveyard? I need 2 cards in my graveyard? Yeah, I'm gonna need 2. Tragic. Beware the Sharknado, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that card, honestly. Okay, they cannot pay for this, so I'm gonna do this. And I'm not gonna crack my treasures. Okay. Not even sure what I'm looking for. That wasn't it. You know what? I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna send a message. Okay. Can't say I'm remotely upset with that. I'm going to put this on top of my opponent's graveyard. Library, I mean. Alright, so Uro is just better than Gretchen right now, so that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I could also just play Gretchen, but I'm not using the mana for Gretchen, so maybe I just don't have to. I'm gonna cast it. I'm just gonna cast it. You can't stop me. So what I would like to see is them cast their commander again, I think. Does it do anything when it enters? It does. Not enough mana for me to be concerned about after the fact, so... Yeah. I was gonna say, may I let this resolve if my opponent, like, had a bunch of mana after they cast it? But they don't, so it's probably safe to just counter this. Exclusively from making Simic players cry? Well, you have come to the right place. Because that is all I know how to do. Alright, let's play this. Let's not crack this for no reason. Alright, I am always casting my commander. My opponent is probably always casting a mana rock. This is fine. Wilderness Reclamation is one of my better cards. I don't have the 4th land. That's not too concerning right now, though. Zero sympathy. I'm losing the crowd. I'm losing the crowd. Oh no. So I died to a removal spell here? That's not removal spell. I drew the land, chat. I drew the land. I win the game. Good luck, opponent. This is a nightmare. Unless it isn't. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, my opponent's like, bet. Send it. I'm going to start timing people out unless they get they're back on my side. You want to see real tears? Real Simic tears? I'll start banning you all. That'll learn you. Oh, I should have played the wolf, actually. Should I have? I am looking for lands. I'll play it now. I'll play it now. There's an argument to just activating Gretchen, though, but this is funny, so... How... You just do nothing? You're out of your mind. Well, I'm not doing anything. It's for you. Yep. Let's put away you and you. In no particular order. Let's swing with the wolf. Alright. Grixis is the only thing worse than Simic. I actually have no problem with Grixis. That is the most insane cast I've ever seen. Wow. That's probably the most insane, like, windmill slam your 7 mana. Let's play this tapped. Should I let him know who that one nerd is? No. Alright, it's the joke card that doesn't do anything, so I'll just let it sit there. Am I still letting it sit there? I think so, right? Hold on. In what world do I... Yep. Screw you. Oh, it hit a land! It hit a land! Lasping Jasper Flint has officially only hit lands. It seems to be the only thing that commander can do. The poor thing. Please don't have a 2-mana removal spell. Can I play with my commander? That'd be pretty fun. I want to have fun. You get to have fun. Why can't I have fun? Okay, so they take my comma, right? That's the only thing it can take. And then it costs 7 for this to become comma. So we're gonna remove Valky or this thing? Probably this thing, because it's beating me up. And I'm going to cast nothing. Witness Protection's actually interesting, is it? No, it's not interesting enough. It's not interesting enough. So now I can bounce Valky and potentially get my comma and cast it, which is obviously very good, so. Opponent didn't do anything. I'm not going to leave up mana for no reason. In fact, there's just no reason to not just simply do this. Tireless Provisioner is interesting. I think I will cast it. My opponent missed a land drop. Do I bounce the Cold Steel Heart? I don't think so. Okay. I don't get the heist mechanic. Someone, please. It's just so much worse than just playing Grixis Control. Just play a Grixis Control. Just, please, for my sanity. I don't get it. Alright. Probably the right thing to do here is just try to bounce this and see what happens. Okay, that literally just happened. I didn't even, like, think about it. Okay, that's unusual. It's very weird. This does not hit anything. You don't know why they printed another heist card in the Alchemy set? Well, hey, you know. Specifically for these players that just really like it for some reason. Alright, well, I'm in a phenomenal position, and I don't think my opponent's comma is going to change that, so. Okay. Oh, wait, did I have Crater Hoof in hand? I'm sorry, did they take... I literally didn't even see that. Literally didn't see that was in my hand. I didn't think Valky was going to hit anything. So, there's still counterspells that could be, like, a thing, and Tamiyo really isn't doing much, but I think it's better than not casting it. I don't really want to fight over it, though. I really don't want to fight over it. I don't even know why this is happening, but sure. Can I crack it again? 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not fighting over that. That just doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm going to pick up Cyclonic Rift. Nah, I'm going to pick up Witness Protection so I don't get schmeeded by something my opponent could randomly generate or something. Did they specifically generate Kama, or was that just what they had to do because the card didn't have another thing it could do? Okay. Okay. And now they're just dead, right? Because it just comes in, immediately does it, and is free. But other parts of the heist thing I'm not upset with. I think it's a fun way to do it. People would probably prefer playing against that than constant Grixis control nonsense, right? So, okay, being on the play is just completely massive. Beaumont Courier is actually a really, really, really good one-drop, though. There's no way I let Inti resolve. It's just not... It just makes no sense. Okay, I don't know why they did it pre-combat, but you got it. Or post-combat, excuse me. They can't cast it again. I have Brainstorm. I'm always casting Brainstorm, so I should lead with Brainstorm. Okay, let's get rid of Kama and Rebuke. Don't think the order matters. And I definitely don't want either of those, so let's go get Island. And I'm not leaving up anything that matters. Stifling the Beaumont Courier is actually kind of useful. And I would love them to cast a burn spell here. I'd love to see a burn spell. Because that's just not like a creature. Oh look, it's a burn spell. Fascinating. You'd rather play Gonti? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like there was another burn spell there, so casting Gretchen probably wasn't the right thing to do. That's fine. So, now what? Commander cost too much here. Alright, I don't know. I'm really hoping the Beaumont Courier is just activated, honestly. If they activate this Beaumont Courier, we're just so happy. I mean, we almost just straight up win if they do, honestly. So, I will now play this, and I will play Forest. My opponent has no lands, by the way, this whole time. Alright, they found a land. I'm just going to take it this time. I'm just taking it this time. Alright, that's funny. So, don't really want to crack fetch lands if I can help it. Let's just play that and pass. Now I just probably have to block. Maybe I can go with one more turn without blocking. Maybe I can go another turn. Just one more. Oh my goodness. Please, game. Stop. I beg of you. Please. Oh my goodness. Can we... Oh my goodness. Okay. Stop. Stop. Literally any card, like, ever. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? What's happening? What's happening? What's actually happening right now? I'm losing my mind. What is actually happening? Okay. It's literally 5 lands in a row. Literally 5 lands in a row. That's a Dire Fleet Daredevil. Can't say I'm terribly concerned about that. Alright, well, I have to now block, because if I don't, I just lose a game. Of course, they have another perfect burn spell. Why wouldn't they? Alright, well, Time Warp's a little too late. I think. Maybe not? It's definitely too late, isn't it? Yeah. Not sure what Time Warp's doing. So, probably still casting it, because I have to get things going in some shape or form. Suppose this isn't the worst Time Warp. It's just certainly not the best Time Warp. Titan of Industry was insane. That was insane. That's what I was looking for. There we go. So we gain some life, and we make a 4/4. And not target my opponent. And we leave up Stifle for the Courier, so it doesn't solo me. When I Stifle this, I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to be very happy. Whoa. Okay, still all in. Target attacking creature gains trample. What are we targeting? Don't think it really matters. Don't think it really matters. So block here. Here. Oh wait. Maybe I block here and here. And here. More seething desire from the opponent to kill my commander. And I don't think that matters at this point in the game, so I wouldn't do anything about this if I could. A Braid, again, totally fine. Totally fine. Why is my opponent playing Mizzix's Mastery? Why is Mizzix's Mastery in my opponent's deck? Am I not... Okay. What? I'm a little confused. Just a little confused. So I can play this yet again, and I will. And we just pass. I have an answer for both the cards. What is Mizzix's Why? What is Mizzix's Mastery doing? Casting Strangle? I don't understand. Alright, get Schmieded. We did it. We stifled him. No new entire hand. That would probably destroy me. And then I just counter the Mizzix's Mastery, which doesn't even cast a relevant spell? Like, what? This is like a mono-red aggro deck playing an 8-mana sorcery that sometimes... Surely we just let this resolve, right? For the sake of my sanity, I'm just gonna... Alright, alright. Okay. Can I just counter the free firebrand instead? No, I can't, huh? Okay. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Yep. Just, short. So... not much I can do about Inti attacking me. I'm not really... Can I... Wait, how do I block this? I can't block with Titans, so I should have just swung it the last turn. Sure. Fiery Emancipation. My opponent would have just top-decked the lol I win the game card. I will now not let that win the game. Oh, hey, look, it's Emrakul. I don't see why I want Inti, though. Does it matter? Should I just cast it anyways, because it's funny? There's nothing they could top deck that does anything, so yeah, of course I want to do this. Yep, get wrecked. Get absolutely wrecked. The Beaumont Courier would have won the game if I couldn't stifle it, that's for sure. This hand's funny. Funny hand. We're overdue for a Minidork. Send it. Come on. Give me it. Put it in play. Oh, you snake in the grass. That opponent, I don't mean to alarm you, buddy, but you didn't play any green lands. I don't mean to, like, concern you about what you've done here, but you didn't do the right thing. This is funny against my commander. Not really. I can still activate it on my opponent's turn and kind of just not care. Now what? We do nothing. That's what. Awful lot of forests. I gotta stop scratching my face. Sylvan Ranger. That does not put the land into play. Well, I mean, they couldn't, because Confounding Conundrum. So does this mean my opponent just has, like, no fetch lands in their entire deck for this one exact card? That seems not worth it. But it seems to be the case. Interesting. Okay. Okay, Negate's alright if I was going to not draw a land. I suppose I can't be upset with that. We'll see, though. Acquisitions Expert. A little weird, but sure. Let's get rid of Uro, because I can't cast it. I can do nothing about this. Alright, the walls are closing in on me. Opponent's wasting their time attacking? No, haha. Alright, that's also just 2 more cards that are not lands. Let's get rid of Karn's Temporal Sundering. Okay, I would never Cling to Dust that, but sure. I would probably Cling to Dust something else. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I'm obviously 6 light years away from... It doesn't even do anything with the Conundrum. So I think I'm okay with running this out in the face of stuff. Because they gave me the option to kill Dina. I think this is... I have to do something, right? Oh, Confounding Conundrum's not symmetrical. I swear I always forget that. I always forget that. I always think this is both people. I always forget that. So, Tatyova, I think I'm actually going to do this and this. opponent's kind of out of gas. Just remind me to crack my fetch lands on my opponent's turn so I don't, you know, accidentally bounce my own land. Yeah, I really am not a big fan of it. Alright, I did not play or draw Find a Land. We're gonna play this game? This seems nonsensical, actually. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Nothing? Kind of weird. I think I'm just doing nothing, because I want to counter their commander again. I would if, like, the escape... no, there's no way to keep it in exile, though. It's just not possible. No, I don't want to foretell. And I don't really want to negate this, even though it is a card draw, like, instance. It just doesn't seem like it makes sense. This goes to 8, right? Remove 8, and then you get a 8/8, okay. They still went for it. Huh, okay. Titchwillow Stern Scolding? No way to stop their commander. I think this makes the most sense to me. What's the alternative? This and negate? This has to make the most sense. Okay, that was a good draw, I think. I don't think Stern Scolding is going to do much here. It'd be funny if it did, though. Alright, technically it actually did do something. Wow, I didn't expect that. So, this costs 10. Don't auto-pay. Let me exit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Skewed Swarm and a fetch land is insane? Or do I Tails in their... No. There's no way this is wrong, right? It's just like, no way this is incorrect. That's just gotta be... Like, I don't care about my opponent's command. Oh, hey! No. Let them have the commander. I'm gonna leave up negate. I'm not really concerned about the commander as much as I am, like, a spell that makes me lose the game on the spot, so... I can afford to leave up negate and let them do their adorable little thing that I'm not concerned about. Look at that. Look at that. These don't have trample, right? Nope. Okay. So that will be dealt with. I did kind of reset my Emrakul. But yeah, this just has to be categorically better than anything else I can possibly do, right? And yep. This is a game where I was mana screwed for 10 years. Should I turn my channel into a mukbang channel and just eat food? Honestly, it would just be pizza. It would just be pizza every time. Like, alright guys, today I've got Domino's. Yesterday I had Domino's. I'll have Domino's tomorrow. Hope you like Domino's, because that's what I've got for you. Manador. Oh, opponent. You missed your opportunity to win the game. Tragic. What's this do? Right, yep. It's the Teamer Titchwillow. I don't know how I don't cast this, so... Oh no, I can't use my Brainstorm. Maybe I wanted to play this as a blue? Actually, did I? Green? It's probably fine as green, but it might have been slightly better to make this blue. I'm not just gonna Brainstorm now. I would never do that here anyways, so... Okay. It's a lot of mana. Lands, please. Okay, put you and... you... So how does this work? It works by not doing anything right now. That's how it works. Certainly wish this was a blue land now. I'm gonna... well, we'll see. Is this just a mana rock? I feel like this is a mana rock and my opponent's overthinking it. I was correct. So, put a stop here and counter Omnath. Okay, so no more stop, because I have to witness protection? No, hold on. Logic's still... hold on. I can just do this still. Alright, so now we're just hoping they have a bunch of ramp that doesn't do anything. Which is, somewhat likely. Of course not. Or you just have 6-minute Chandra. That works too. So... Expropriate is hilarious. I see no reason to make further moves. Could have maybe cast Gretchen. Does that matter? There's an argument that that's not the right thing to do. I don't know. I lose to dumb generic blue power spell thing. There is nothing I can do about that. But I suppose it's not the worst thing that could have happened to me. It makes me happy that I didn't cast my commander, though. So, expropriate... how does this work? Any permanent. Any permanent. My opponent probably won't let me steal something here, and I might actually take 2 extra turns. Excuse me, I literally can't cast it. I'm dumb. So we're just doing this. I thought I could cast it. I am 1 minute short, right? Yeah. Mythweaver Pock. That's probably a problem, right? That's probably a problem. Okay. Alright, love to see all this. Yeah, turning off Omnath was... well, I mean, that's how I stay in the game. Alright, so they have all the lands in the world, they just don't have anything to do with it. Enigma Jewel. Well, I mean, okay. It enters tapped. Yikes. Suppose I'm still casting it, though, right? Alright, so this is a spot where I'm not really upset if Chandra just kills Gretchen. I'm surprised they didn't kill their own, like, stuff there. Sure. They can kill their own Omnath, right? Unless I'm tripping. I feel like that would have been the right thing to do, after, you know, before doing all this. They're out of Snowlands. That's hilarious. They're just out of Snowlands. But again, I don't know how they're going to let me vote with this thing. They have to vote time? Alright, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just didn't respect it. Didn't respect it. And honestly, if it happened again, I would probably make the same choice again. I would do the same thing again. I have no respect for that card. Alright. This is a spot where... Oh, I guess I can bait out a... Alright, they do have some interaction. I guess I'm just not casting my commander then. I have Growth Spiral anyways. This is a really good Growth Spiral spot, too. I think. Alright, it's slightly less good because I didn't then draw something else. I will cast this, though. Alright, they countered it. Cool. I feel like I maybe came out on top just a little bit with that counter spell. Maybe not. I mean, they turned my 2-2 into 2-2, and it's not like the text on it really mattered. Although I would still obviously prefer to have some kind of legendary card in play for the box. Okay, well. No choice now with this. Surprised they took a turn off here. The hand must have really needed some help. Interesting. So, yep, we just do nothing for a bajillion years. Come on, let me play the wolf. Let me play the wolf. Let's counter that. No wolf, Sag. Alright. Still fine here. It's another draw-go game against a control deck, except this time they don't have 35 mana. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... A bunch of different stuff I could do here. Planar Disruption. Do I care? Nope. Go for it. That's adorable. Alright, the hand's looking a little meh, but you know what? That's alright. Do I cast that again? Nope. This is still a legendary, correct? Yes. Alright, that's... Ward, discard, whenever creature you control attacks, double the number, blah, 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 blah. Nah, let's just Snapcaster it. I get more pressure in play, and this is fine. It's a 4/4, right? Okay. Discard a card. This is a boatload of removal. That is a must counter threat. I'm not smelling a counter spell, and I don't lose the game if it gets countered, so... Alright, we just win. Yep. So Gretchen is really fun. I enjoy this commander a lot. It's like a slow Brawl, sort of, that can play some cool green cards. There was a couple games where Night Pack Ambusher was pretty good, surprisingly. I never made a token with it, though. Never made a token. Maybe the Frilled Mystic Night Pack Ambusher days are behind us, but I still like it. Someone recommended this card. It just didn't do anything, but I just never actually got to see it, but I can see how it might have made sense. It just never came up. Biomancer's Familiar did not start in this deck, but it should always be in your Gretchen deck. I filtered at the start for Training Grounds, and I don't know if I filtered by enchantments only or something, but when I filtered, I found this one. I did not find the Familiar. But I knew there was a second one. I was thinking there was a second one. I just, for some reason, couldn't find it with the deck, the card search thing here. The top end was alright. I would say, above everything, I kind of wanted slightly more ramp spells, which is a weird thing to say. I wasn't as all in with... So the difference between this and Tamiyo is Tamiyo creates card draw that costs 2 mana. This creates it that costs 4. This gives you free land drops, but you need to have the land in hand. There were a lot of games I did not have a land. It was a lot of games I got mana screwed, even with 40 lands and a fair amount of MDFCs thrown in here. I don't really want to run more lands than this. If anything, I would actually take out 1 or 2 lands. I don't know if you always have to hit a land here, but obviously it's a good thing to do. The Delve cards were not as easily castable as I want it, and that would thus by extension mean Uro was not as exciting as I'd want it to be, but it's still probably good enough, and it's better than most options, I would say. There's certainly another 20 to, honestly, maybe even 50, if you look at it slightly different. There's probably like 50 or so cards that you can run in this that I did not run, and they're totally viable. I went with the, the more controlling style, but I would have wanted more ramp, so... On turn, let's say 3, specifically turn 3, having Entish Restoration and Harrow as instant speed ramp spells would have been nice. Honestly, some games even getting rid of this with a Flare of whatever the green Flare is. I think it's Flare of Cultivation would have been alright. I don't really think the blue Flare is in order here, but... I just don't have any Minotaurs, so it's hard to justify sacking this. It seems counterproductive, but it, free Flare is still sort of free, even though you spent sort of 2 and then 2 again later, because you have to pay for the commander tax. I don't know how I felt about the ramp side of this. It could have done itself better, I'd say. I don't know what I would take out, maybe redefine this or whatever. Maybe it's different enough that if I did run a bunch of ramp, that we're starting to enter the realm of playing this in a different way entirely. So if I did start to add lands, what am I taking out that keeps the core idea of what I'm doing with Gretchen intact? I don't know what that looks like. So, other than that, Wilderness Reclamation was still just the best card in this commander, and it's not even close. I could have ran... Actually, I don't really think there's any cards that consistently allow you to get this, because we're not white to tutor for enchantments, and we're not black to tutor for anything. So it's kind of hard to get this, but you could probably run... Maybe I wanted Seek New Knowledge... And that's really the only one I really like. I don't like Discover the Formula. A lot of people like this card. I really don't like this card. I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's weird. Something about this card is not that exciting. The MDSC Flipland probably just want it to be in here. Seagate Restoration over an island. That's probably just straightforward. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. Because when you activate Gretchen, you can't put this into play from your hand as a land. And that does matter. That does matter. So I don't know if I'd want this one. But this is discounting a single activation. And with that activation, it must then replace this card because you spent a card to cast this, and then it has to replace itself to justify the initial discount of Gretchen's first time activating. So does that make sense? Like, you play this, you tap it, you activate this, you've drawn a card, maybe it is a land, cool. This wasn't a land or a mana dork. It must replace itself to basically justify its existence. I think that's fair. It has to at least replace itself. So the first discounted activation is simply replacing Omen Hawker. And all we have done is spend 3 mana, right? 1 mana on the cast, and then 2 mana on an activation, to then simply replace this card. So you've discounted a single Gretchen activation by, like, 1. Whereas you otherwise would not have this. So I don't like this, and thus by extension, the same logic applies to this card that actually comes in tapped. So just like the other one, you can't use it the very turn you play it, because Summoning Sickness and enters tapped. So I really don't like those cards. And that is why. I would prefer them to be Mana Dorks, and I still don't think I like Mana Dorks. I really like Harrow here. The instant speed, sack land stuff. I'd have to get 5 activations for it to be better than any other 1 mana dork. Why is that? Because a mana dork taps and discounts it by 1. Discount it by 1. So 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6. And not only that, you can't use the mana dork to cast any other spell like a counter spell. I mean, you can use a mana dork. You can't use that Omen thing, the Hawk, to use to cast anything else. Tyler's tracker is like a build your own Tamiyo with my commander, actually, and that's funny. Build your own 1 mana Tamiyo. I didn't think of that, but I still have to use the mana for the clue tokens. And why am I not just activating this instead? But I want Harrow and Entish, and probably Regrowth too. I want all of these. Yeah, that's just the package we're looking for. Nope, that's all 3 of them. Look at that. That's literally all 3. So yeah, I think that logic is why those Enigma Jewel things just don't make sense. I'm never happy with those on turn 1, unfortunately. But I do like this Settle the Wilds into Reclamation. Ah, man, I still don't like Unwind. Can we... No. Put a land... So I like the idea of this, but it's hard to get it going. It's so hard to get this going. Like, you have to cast spells to do this. Which means you're not activating Gretchen, which means you're not getting the extra lands you're putting in hand into... It's still it's an interesting choice. Surely there's a better card than this that does something similar. I think it just makes it. Isn't there a similar card that's just better? That's what I'm thinking. I just don't know what it is. I don't know. One that does it repeatedly? I don't know. I feel like there is a better one, though. It probably doesn't have Magecraft, but it's a safe start, I guess. I've always been a fan of this card, but I understand I'm delusional. I want to play this commander. I keep forgetting it exists. I gotta put it on my list. I went too far in the Frogifies. I don't know if I agree with that. I actually like the Frogifies every single game. I think every single game I would like to have one. Maybe against commanders that are not creatures, like the only thing, like planeswalkers, it's like slightly less exciting. But I am a huge fan of shutting down. There's a lot of games where it just wins the game, like against the Omnath, let's say, right? If I didn't shut down Omnath, I would have lost. It's just like putting this under it. I'm a huge fan of all of these. They get in the way of your Cyclonic Rift and River's Rebuke, but that's not. That's the other end of the game. That shouldn't matter too much. Yeah, no, I'm a diehard fan of all of the Frogifies. Weakstone's Subjugation. I've got like 5. I think I have like 6. I don't know what Weakstone's Subjugation is. Is that a card? What about Curious Obsession? It's not like Gretchen can't swing sometimes, just as a 1/5. Like, does that make sense? I feel like this makes sense. How does this not make sense? I don't think this is deep. I think this is like genius. Is this genius? Hold on. Is this actually genius? Mana aura that keeps an artifact or... Oh, okay. What's the one that you like lose life? I feel like Curious Obsession's deep. This doesn't tap it, but it's on theme. Well, that's not really the... I mean, removing the text box is way more crucial. If I was going to run something like this, I would just take out a Frogify, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I feel like Curious Obsession is like genius here. Even on Tamiyo. Well, I mean, you need to cast Tamiyo, but... I like this Curious Obsession. I'm down with it. Does the venture in the dungeon one give flying? I don't think venturing in the dungeon makes sense, though. This one makes you lose life? Yeah. Yeah. Just shuts it down. But again, I think you're better off just making it lose all text. I think that's better. Then, that, and I'm not going to make room for, like, all of that, because then I think it's a little too much. Okay, Fly doesn't give +1/+1, so we can't use it because Gretchen has 0 power. I don't think I like this card, dude. Tragic. Pride of Wholeclad? Yeah, now I just need both in the same game. Surely. I want to play Pride again. I love that commander was so fun to play. That was so fun. I only played it that one day, too. I got a body pillow of that dude. I love Pride of Wholeclad. I sleep with that guy. As a body pillow. It's obviously a giant turtle. I think. Oh, this is tough. Do we care about Titan of Industry? I almost don't care about Titan of Industry. I feel like it's like cool, but a naturalize and then something else random is not worth 7 mana to me. It's like scary stat wise, but it's certainly one of the weaker cards in the top end. In this style of deck. Yeah, we can take out Titan, actually. And one more card. One more card, and then I can stop streaming, because I'm hungry, and it's been too long. I really don't like Unwind. Oh my goodness. It's either Unwind or this. Someone flip a coin. I don't have a coin on me. Flip a coin. I'm not even going to tell you what heads or tails is. A soft counter? You don't like the soft counter? I can't sack anything to it ever. It's the only one? Yeah, it is the only one. I like the soft counters though. I mean, it's not a mana leak. I wish we had mana leak. I'm surprised we don't have mana leak. Say cut apprentice. That is between the two, between unwind and apprentice. I would give it apprentice. I'd give apprentice the cut there for sure. I don't know. I really like the soft counters. I mean, I'm okay with even quench. I'm all right with those, just because they cost 2 mana, and that's colossal. Maybe not as crazy in this exact deck, because this is your turn 2 play, and then you care more about your turn 3 being a counterspell and blah 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 blah. Okay, we're done. We're done. I'm gonna be stuck here all day if I don't stop. So that was a lot of deck tech at the end there, and I think we put it in a much better place. But I'm not gonna continue playing because I'm already like an hour over my average play session. But I like the changes. They settle the wilds. Always getting this when you excuse me. Always getting this when you have 3 lands going into 4 is awesome and reasonable, especially where you don't want a lot of 4s anyways, because your 4 is just Gretchen. And yeah, removing the 1 mana, like the mana jewel and the other thing made sense. We got rid of the apprentice too for kind of the same reason. Rewind and unwind. I don't like unwind that much, but it's better than, you know, a lot of other things I might have in this spot, I think. And taking out Titan of Industry and Hornet Queen, because for giant top-end things, for a deck like this, less in on the green big dumb stuff, it probably makes sense to just take those out, so. But, someone said too many Frogifies. I disagree. That's probably the last point of contention, would be too many of these. I just think they win the game. There's just instances where this straight up wins the game, even if your opponent doesn't concede, because shutting down your opponent's commander is undescribably powerful, right? Every time someone Frogified Gretchen, I've lost access to a huge chunk of my power, right? My deck's power just got... So, assuming it's not a Planeswalker in the command zone, these are just phenomenal. You can shut down Mana Dorks, you can shut down something that isn't your opponent's commander if you have to do that, right? Shrink the stats on something. It can't swing or trade with Gretchen, so it just sits there and looks at it. It's not like I'm stuck with it. And I'll say the last card that might be too Galaxy Brain, it's either extremely genius or very dumb, is Curious Obsession on my commander. Swinging as a 1/5 and just drawing cards off of it seems viable. It seems like this is viable. I could be wrong. I did not get to test this, but if I Frogify a bunch of stuff that stonewalls the Curious Obsession, right? They have like a 1/1 I don't want to trade because I want their commander stuck. It's going to feel real stupid. But you don't always have that. You don't always have that. And there's some games where you genuinely can swing with this. It is a 2-mana commander. With Mox Amber, shoot, you could like leave out a lot of counter spells. Yeah, I want to try this card. Maybe something like Ledger Shredder for a card draw engine or, you know, card selection engine is just better than this. But Curious Obsession is striking my curiosity. So I'll end there because if I don't, I'm stuck forever. So Ringbearer do his thing. Yeah, Ringbearer would be interesting because then it's like hard to block this, right? That's true too. Yeah. Yeah. But like I said at the start, there's like 50 cards we could run in Gretchen that I wasn't running. There's only so many you could put in a deck. So let me know what you thought about this Gretchen list. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I gotta stop now, because we will keep going, and I will keep going. So I'll see you guys later.